On today's gear check, we are talking about firearm mounted lights or the use of a white light in general to keep you from going to jail. As a pro Second Amendment attorney and firearms instructor for over 15 years, I set off on a journey to combine my competition shooting knowledge, instructor experience, and legal background with a practical application to the firearm laws. I'm using my unique background to help you and your family make informed decisions to keep you safe on the range, on the street, and in the courtroom. Hello everyone, my name is Joseph Radzwion IV, your trusted attorney with Radzwion Law, PLLC. And today we're looking at a case specific here that happened in Michigan, and then also talking about practical applications of why I think a use of a white light either mounted to your defensive firearm or at the very least a handheld light can keep you from going to prison. This comes from a couple ideas. The Wafer case, People v. Wafer that happened here in the Metro Detroit area, and then also people asking me in my CPL classes when I teach those or advanced training, what type of accessories do I carry or that they should carry in their everyday carry setup? What type of gear will help them in those types of situations? So let's look quickly at the People v. Wafer case. This unfolded here several years back in the Metro Detroit area, in which the victim was involved in a car accident. She may have been impaired on either drugs or alcohol, but nonetheless, it was early in the morning. It was like 1 a.m. She stumbles around the neighborhood and finally around 4 a.m. roughly starts banging on the door of the homeowner, the defendant, Mr. Wafer. She goes back and forth a couple times between the doors. He grabs a baseball bat at one point and then switches to his long gun or his shotgun, and then is standing at his front door when he opens the front door and has the storm door still closed. He sees a dark figure on the porch and discharges his firearm through that storm door, striking the victim. Now, we can get into some of the Castle Doctrine stuff in another episode. If you'd like to see that, please leave us a comment below. But for today, we're looking at just the white light, the light being mounted there on your defensive firearm. And where this comes from is I read through the court transcripts and found that the homeowner, the defendant, Mr. Wafer, admitted that at the time that he discharged his firearm, he did not know what his threat was. He did not know that it was a female that was on or leaving his porch. He didn't realize that what he thought was his perceived threat was even a female at all until after he had shot her. So this is problematic for those who carry a defensive firearm and or are going to defend their home without identifying the threat, because ultimately, this is one of the things that ended up hurting him in court. And Mr. Wafer's in prison, and he'll be in prison for a very long time because the victim, Mrs. McBride, I think her name is, was not posing a threat to him, but he didn't know that because he couldn't see what his threat was before he discharged his shotgun. So that goes to the practical aspect, and essentially the pro tip or concealed carry tip that I'll give you is that if you are concealed carrying, at the very least, you need to consider carrying a handheld light to be able to illuminate your target. And if not, maybe invest in something like this, a pistol mounted light for your handgun, so that you have the ability to say, yes, I illuminated the target. I recognize that the threat was holding a knife or pointing a gun at me, and that's why I felt like I needed to discharge my firearm in defense of my life. A lot of people, I think that they go about their day and they're in fairly well-lit areas, but even thinking about just maybe if you're at an office space or you're in a larger building that by the time you get into that building, you're in the interior and there aren't windows or anything like that. There are dark places, even in an office type building like that or a hospital, or something like that, where you're not, the building is so big that there are dark rooms within that space that you could find yourself needing a light, whether it's for a defensive situation or just because you're looking for something. All right. So those are considerations that will help you determine what type of gear you need in your everyday carry, and what type of gear will help you even stay out of jail or potentially help your case in a self-defense situation. If you like this video, please leave us a comment below, share, like, subscribe, and until next time, thanks for watching.